3 is the movie that will finally introduce one of the franchise's most iconic and stylish characters, Shadow. But did you know that along with him, several other important characters are also expected to appear? Shadow isn't just a standalone character who can show up out of nowhere and have everything instantly make sense. He's a complex character, full of intense emotions, with a backstory involving many moving parts, from a space station that served as the lab where he was created, to the scientist who brought him to life, and the teenage granddaughter who lived with them in the lab, to ancient alien races that predate human civilization and form the foundation of nearly all the mythology in the Sonic universe. A central element to understanding Shadow's story is the Robotnik family, which includes the scientist Gerald and his granddaughter Maria. All of this takes place 50 years before the Robotnik we know, Eggman, even comes into the picture, which is why he's not mentioned during this period. So, who are these new characters we'll meet in Sonic 3? Grab your lab coats and let's journey 50 years into the past to uncover all these mysteries here on the Zigzag channel. Unlike the Eggman Robotnik we know as Sonic's unscrupulous and somewhat incompetent villain, Dr. Gerald Robotnik was a genuinely good person who wanted to use science for the betterment of humanity. One of his greatest creations was the ARK space colony, a space station designed to allow people to live in space, where the controlled atmosphere made it easier to study things that were impossible to achieve on Earth. His primary ambition with the space station, however, was to find a cure for his granddaughter Maria Robotnik's deadly illness. The different gravity aboard the station helped keep her condition in remission. During his quest to cure his granddaughter, Gerald received a request from the president of the United Federations to work on a top-secret scientific project. This project was perfectly aligned with Gerald's goal of saving Maria. It was focused on discovering the secret to immortality. And this scientific experiment is the catalyst that sets the stage for the red and black hedgehog who will appear as the villain in Sonic 3. There's one crucial piece of information about this project. Its name was Project Shadow. If you're finding this story interesting so far and can't wait to hear about the other characters set to appear, drop a # Robotnik in the comments so we know you're excited. It's impossible to tell Shadow's story without mentioning the members of his team, as first introduced in Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes. Even though Shadow might be the main villain of this new movie, his allies aren't villains by nature. Their loyalty to Shadow depends heavily on the circumstances he finds himself in. The first of these new characters who might appear in Sonic 3 is Rouge the Bat. She's a mercenary, a jewel thief, and a government spy for the United Federations. She also works secretly for GUN, the same agency that invades the ARK space colony to uncover information about Project Shadow. Rouge is a mysterious and enigmatic character whose goals are usually mercenary in nature. That's why we can't really call her a villain. After all, she'd never want to see the world destroyed. How would she collect the rarest jewels and get rich if the world ceased to exist, right? The next character who could join the movie and complete the Dark Team trio, known as Team Dark in the games, is the powerhouse robot Omega. Omega is a guardian robot built by Eggman to protect Shadow and all associated information in a secret base where Shadow was kept frozen in cryogenic stasis for years. Since Shadow wasn't a threat, Omega was deactivated and abandoned in the base, which Eggman later turned into a dumping ground. Omega's primary motivation is a deeply personal one: revenge against Eggman. The robot is furious that all its power was wasted this way. Rouge accidentally reactivates Omega while trying to awaken Shadow from his decades-long deep sleep. Sensing potential conflict, Rouge, with her silver tongue, convinces Shadow and Omega to join forces since their goals align. She even names them Team Dark herself. It's worth noting that in the movies, the concept of team names has already been introduced in Sonic 2, when Sonic refers to the trio of himself, Tails, and Knuckles as Team Sonic. If the movies continue this tradition, we might just see an adaptation of Sonic Heroes come to life. And let's not forget that aside from Team Sonic and Team Dark, there's also Team Rose and Team Chaotix, adding up to 6 more important characters who could debut in the next films. Would you love to see all this unfold on the big screen? Then hit that red button below the video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any updates about Sonic and his upcoming cinematic adventures. Now, among the most enigmatic characters in the Sonic universe, there's one group that puts Shadow and the members of Team Dark to shame: the Ancients. The Ancients are an alien civilization that fled their home planet due to an unstoppable calamity known only as the End. The End is a planet-destroying force that roams the galaxy, leaving a trail of destruction and wiping out entire civilizations in the blink of an eye. The Ancients, however, managed to escape unscathed and found refuge on Earth thanks to the power of their greatest creation, Chaos Emeralds. Remember seeing them in the Sonic 2 movie? Well, the entire story of Knuckles' ancient tribe worshipping the Chaos Emeralds is 100% connected to the Ancients' history. It's through their tragic past that these jewels ended up on Earth and became a key part of Shadow's story. Since Sonic 2 adapted events from the first Sonic Adventure game by exploring the mythology of Knuckles' tribe, it makes perfect sense for the story of the Ancients to be featured in Sonic 3. This movie is, after all, a sequel to Sonic 2, and the events involving Shadow, Gerald, Rouge, and the Ancients all tie into the story of Sonic Adventure 2. Besides all of those characters from the mainline games, it's safe to assume that the creative team behind the movies are paying close attention to what the fans have to say on the internet. I mean, this was literally what saved the day for the first movie back in the old ugly Sonic days. And since the movie's reception has been awesome, there's no reason why the producers wouldn't pay attention to the fans. And what the fans love the most when a beloved franchise is well adapted to the movies or TV shows are Easter eggs. And those Easter eggs have enough chance to become another thing on its own if done properly. What I mean is that just like the case of the Super Mario movie, where we got hints of Super Smash Bros. And even Mario Kart, they could also do the same with Sonic by hinting at other games of the franchise, like the underrated Sonic Riders. In this game, we have another cast of 3 characters, just like the old teams, formations that were already established before in Sonic Heroes. And here, we have Jet the Hawk, Wave the Swallow, and Storm the Albatross. They're the main antagonists of the Sonic Riders plot, and would be a very cool addition to the overall cast of the movies. Can you imagine how cool it would be to see Sonic and the gang racing and battling Jet and his gang on top of these sick hoverboards? I would pay money to watch that for sure. So, those were our predictions for the new characters set to be revealed in the Sonic 3 movie. Are you excited? Because here at the channel, we can barely contain ourselves. If you're a Sonic fan and can't wait for Sonic 3, don't forget to subscribe and click on the 2 videos appearing on your screen right now to learn even more about the Sonic universe with us.